Hi, I'm Sally and I'm a singing and voice teacher and I created the Ultimate Singers Masterclass. Today I'm talking to Bethany Wood. She's one of my singers and we just want to talk a bit about your journey over the past year.
Brilliant, thank you.
So we've been working together for quite a while now. Do you know how long? It's been a couple of years, isn't it?
A couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, and it's we started having one-to-one lessons and then I created a confidence course. So what made you want to sign up to that one?
I've always loved music and always really wanted to perform, but never had the confidence at all. And before joining your course, I'd really never sung in front of you and my family. They're the only people I'd sung in front of. So I really wanted, and I write my own music, and I really wanted to get it out there, but just lacked the confidence to do it.
Yeah, and I remember you always saying to me that you had a goal to get up and do gigs and be gigging regularly.
I mean, that was the dream, to be able to perform my songs to other people and get them out there. But it's always just been in my room playing by myself, so it was the dream to go out and do that, and yeah. And
over the course of the weeks, what I kind of saw from you is that you just completely changed as a person, and going through, because how the setup works, how it works is that we have 8 weeks, because originally it was 6 weeks, now it's 8 weeks because we want a little bit more performance time. So we had 8 weeks where we would talk about our emotions, about why we feel certain ways. We did some diffusion techniques, some confidence building techniques, and then we would, for the second half of each session, would be performing. And that was your chance to perform in front of what was it, about 10 people, I think 10, 12 people. And how did you feel when you first started that?
When I first started doing that, I was just petrified to get up and stand in front of people and sing a song. Just absolutely petrified. I remember just shaking in my boots, waiting to come up. But as the weeks went on, it got that little bit easier, until now. I'm at a place where that just doesn't even bother me.
Yeah, and so talking about that, so what have you done? So we worked out today that it's pretty much coming up to the year since we did the course. Yeah, the year anniversary. And a year to the day since we did our first, we did a mock gig. We did a whole day within what was it, for the 10 people who will be performing, and what they did is they got up and they had the chance to do their set. That was they was due to do a few weeks later. So for you, that's a year on from that day. So how did you feel doing that before the gig?
Before the first gig?
In the kind of the mock setup.
Oh yeah, that again was one of the most nerve-wracking things I've ever done. But you gave me a really safe environment. I wasn't scared of being judged, and I wasn't worried about messing up my lines. It was just about getting you up there and doing what you could do, and you just encouraged everyone to do that. I remember that day some people were like, oh, I don't know if I could do it at all, but you got them up to do a song at least and prove to them they could actually do that. And that's what the whole course taught me. It was just, if you keep building your confidence, there's nothing you can't do, really. Yeah,
and I think that's what a lot of people do expect, is that they start singing and then they can gig, and that's it. And it is it's completely a journey. And I found that for myself when I was performing regularly, that if you take time out, you then get that nerves back again, don't you?
Yeah.
And for you, so what happened is we had the mock gig, then we did the gig at Jarek's.
The gig.
The big one that everyone was working up to over the 8 weeks. So for you, how did that one feel?
That one, I was the most prepared I've ever been for a gig, and it was really nerve-wracking. But I'd learned so much with you about how to overcome your nerves and how to, set up a set and all these different things. And because you'd done the night, I felt really supported and really ready, and it was so much fun to do it with all those other people I'd spent time on the course with, and see, we all had a real bravado, kind of like got behind each other and really supported each other. So it was actually a really nice day. I just sat there watching all these people I've worked with do what they set out to do originally. It was just great.
So now, what you've been doing, so you had that the first gig with me. After that, you then went on to start booking your own gigs through, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I had the first gig with you, then I think I had a couple of months where I didn't do anything, and we had another gig with you booked in September.
Oh, one of my student showcases, yeah.
Student showcases. So I was like all ready for that. I had my set already, I'd all set up after your course to go out and do these gigs. And then after them, I put myself in for a gig every month.
Right, yeah.
And through you talking, it was just a way for me to keep building that confidence and not just let it stop after the course. It was to keep it going and slowly edge away the anxiety. And so now I'm done 10 gigs at Jags.
That's 10, that's loads.
Yeah. So
and how do you feel? So you actually did a gig last night.
yeah.
If you think of where you were a year ago to where you are last night, how do you feel that went?
Oh, it's just a completely different story. Whereas a year ago, singing a couple of lines or a chorus to a group of people in a small room, during a course was like the most terrifying thing. Now, I'm just getting up and performing and not really nervous, not really suffering from the nerves. Can't tell if I have any nerves on the camera. Learn about how to respect other artists and how to talk to other artists and people running these events and things like that. So, and 10 gigs in, it's just completely different. It's just so much more easy, so much more enjoyable. People are recognising my songs, people are recognising me.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. Yeah.
Really good.
And so going forward now, you've got some other gigs coming up and big opportunities. So we've got some news coming at some point, haven't we? So you've got big things coming up.
Yeah.
Just for everyone, could you tell them what your Facebook page is?
Bethany Wood, at Bethany Wood, singer-songwriter.
So go and follow her over there. She's posting bits and pieces about her gigs that she's doing at the moment. And you're actually working on an album at the moment, aren't you? You've got a lot of original material.
A lot of original that I'm trying to get out there and test the waters with.
Yeah, brilliant. And it's going down great. I love your original material. And I think actually when we first start gigging, sometimes you say, oh, is it all original? Is it covers? And you, no matter what you do, it seems to just, it sounds like you doing it, you don't sound like anyone else singing those songs. And what I kind of think for you, this is what you've achieved in a year. I have no ideas what's going to happen over the next couple of years.
Well, I've had, I'm also part of a choir called the UBG, and before singing in front of them, it's like so nerve-wracking. But now I've had a solo, and if we having like just sessions where you get up and sing a song, I'm happy to do it. It's just opened up all these opportunities for me. So
so the Urban Vocal Group is a local vocal group. We've got a kids group and adult group, and each week you get an opportunity to get up and sing a song you've been working on and just kind of feedback to the group. But also they have, even though it's a group singing, they will have solo opportunities, and I remember that being a big thing for you, is that you wanted to be able to do that. So that's something you've now achieved. And actually quite recently you've got the solo on a song that you really wanted to do. That's great. So looking forward, what are your aims over the next couple of years now?
Next couple of years, I'd like to record some of my originals. I'd like to keep writing and keep sharing, because that's the main part of it for me, that I've always wanted to share music with other people. But it's always been something I've done in my room, so keep sharing, keep writing, keep growing in confidence and see what happens next. I like just to get out there and meet people, sing to people, so.
Brilliant, that's good. So how important do you think it is for people to attend the confidence course if they're feeling a little bit worried about getting up in front of people?
It's just the best thing. It was really, it's like it was made for me, really.
It may well have been. I did have a certain amount of people that I had in mind as I was creating the course. Because that's why I created my course in the first place, is we worked one-to-one for a long time, and there are certain things that you can't do in one-to-one environments that particularly singing in front of other people. People get used to singing in front of you quite quickly, but the idea of, say some people do, the idea is that if we are doing that within a group, you've got 8 weeks intensive of singing in front of people, and I actually find that's probably one of the most important parts of building confidence, is just doing it, and getting out and doing it in front of people.
Just that practice. But definitely, I just wouldn't be where I am now without that course and without you. It just was the best thing. And each week I came away feeling a little bit, braver, a little bit, I could stand up and do this next week. And I think you've just kept that going in me all the time. So
I'm so pleased. I'm really. I think from a lot of, I work for a lot of people, and to see the difference in you it's incredible. And what I really noticed was that you did my technical course, didn't you? November.
November,
Yeah, so you did the confidence in April, then you did the technical in November, and I remember within the technical we get up at the end of the session and everyone has a chance to sing and we kind of work on the techniques that we've been doing. You just seemed a different person getting up there and actually singing in that environment because you'd already done it. It wasn't like it was as scary as probably what some of the other members found it. But that's when I think for me that I really noticed the difference in your confidence was actually I kind of thought, well, you do this all the time. You're old hat at it now. It's not a big thing. But so what made you want to have singing lessons in the first place?
I've always, I say always, since I was a teenager. I've played music, written music, and it's I went through a hard time in my life, and the thing that kept me going was music. It was all I kind of lived for that time, and it helped me get better and helped me feel better about myself. And I decided at that point that I wanted my future to involve music, and I'd always thought I couldn't sing, can't play, so I sought out you for singing lessons, and you were so patient with me because I was so nervous. And I remember one of the first things to do was play you one of my songs, and you're probably the only person in the world that's seen that song. And you just said, no, yeah, you can do this, and you believed in me. So it really just pushes me each week to keep going and keep improving.
Yeah. Oh, we've had a long journey, haven't we? A long journey, and I think as a teacher, and that we've become quite good friends through this as well. As a teacher, looking back on where you were and where you are now, this is why music is important to people because it does change lives. But for you, what got you there was perseverance, and I think that's what a lot of people need to remember is that this has been a journey over probably about 4 years. Is it been 4 years? Do we reckon 3 or 4? Has it been longer? It's been enough, hasn't it? It's been
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. So it's been 3 years that we've been working together. And through that period, we've gone from one-to-one lessons, just even getting you to sing your songs, getting through that process, to getting her to go to, you went to UVG, getting to, even walking through that door is a big thing, isn't it? And then going on to put yourself forward for solos and getting up, doing these courses, getting up and singing at these courses. These are all parts of the journey that I don't think people realise. And if you are out there and you're wanting to learn to get up and perform in front of people, if you love to sing and that's the thing that scares you the most, Bethany has done that, and she's gone through that process, and I'm very, very proud of her for that. And you kind of, when you think about you getting up there last night as opposed to you a year ago,
yes, completely.
That's quite a quick period of time, and I don't think that we necessarily consider that a year's process is what it takes for some people. So,
and it's not just that; it's the range, the breathing, all the technical.
and the technical development as well. Yeah, and I think if you are seriously considering improving your voice, this is the way that you've done it, is the way that you should have done, where you've gone weekly, you've taken your time, you work really hard at it, you bring out your own individual songs, and even down to your picking your set list. We worked really hard on making it you know, and I think some people are very, very prone to going, well, this is what people want to hear. You pick the song that people want to hear, but it's so individual to you. It's like some of the songs you're picking out, like "Build Me Up, Buttercup." Like, I think the one thing that I found with people is that they kind of go, "She's doing that song. Oh wow, I forgot about that." And that's what you want to do. You want to get people excited about your music. But no, well that's great. Well, thank you.
Okay.
So if you want to hear more about Bethany and her music, I'll put the link for her Facebook below. So she's got some bits coming up soon. So stay tuned. Thank you.
This is intertwined. Our lives are so intertwined. There's a knot in my stomach when I see you. And how they seem to fall through the space in between us. But I'm missing the moments in the void. We grew together apart, parallel lines trying to connect. bittersweet friendship. Ooh, it's so bittersweet. Ooh, it's so bittersweet. You're the truth on the tip of my tongue, but I'm still waiting for the answer to come. 4 years too long, oh, 4 years too long. It's so bittersweet, ooh, it's so bittersweet. I'm trying to do better. I am trying to be proud. I'm trying not to care about the maddening crowd. But there you were, amongst it all. I'm the fickle sore with no courage at all. I'll wait it out, I will wait it out, I will wait you out. Hope you'll come around. You're the truth on the tip of my tongue, but I'm still waiting for the answer to come. 4 years too long, oh, 4 years too long. It's so bittersweet, ooh, so bittersweet. I'm tongue-tied and twisted as you leave. My heart and mind can't find the words to believe that oh, the years seem to fall through the space in between us. But I'm missing the moments in the void. You're the truth on the tip of my tongue, but I'm still waiting for the answer to come. 4 years too long, 4 years too long. I'll wait it out, I will wait it out, I will wait you